Let's go right to our guest line as we bring on the head coach of the Orange, Fran Brown, joining us here for a few minutes. Coach, thanks so much for coming on. How are you today?
I'm good. How about yourself? How y'all doing?
Good. We're doing great. I do want to thank you, by the way. You met my daughter last week at the Donovan McNabb event, the Aarons Awards. She got a picture with you. She couldn't stop talking about how nice you were, how cordial you were. You met my wife as well, so thank you so much for spending a moment with my daughter. She loved it. And I guess that leads me to my first question. You know, you're there to support the Aarons Awards, there to support Donovan McNabb. How important is it? It seems like it is a priority of yours, Coach, to bring the alums back to the program, to welcome them back into the SU football family. How important is that for you?
I mean, that's real important. That's like top. That's on the top, one of the top three things that you would look for when it comes to coming back, because they know what it looks like. You know, they know what it looks like. They know what they want it to look like as an alum, and it means a lot to them. So when you got guys that, you know, they have no more skin in the game, but they just love the school so much, you know, you want to have them around because they'll only speak from the heart, and they'll speak from experience.
And you got a couple of those guys coming back on Saturday. Zaire Franklin, John Lally, both heavily involved. Well, we know John Lally certainly heavily involved with the program, and Zaire Franklin thought of very well around these parts. Three-time captain. They're coming back to serve as honorary coaches. Can you talk about their involvement, I guess, in this spring game on Saturday?
I mean, they'll both be coaches on opposite teams. You know, it's going to be fun. John's going to be the head coach of the Orange, and Zaire be head coach of the Blue, you know, so it's getting a good opportunity for those guys to go at it. I just think just two classy guys, though. You know, when you just look at it, I know they do a lot for the program, for, like, their university just because they love it. But when you look at them, just men that really take care of the community, you know, and just two class act guys. Like, you can't find people to say bad things about them unless they're just jealous. So, you know, I'm just really thankful that those guys are willing to come back and willing to be a part of the spring game and just willing to share some of their knowledge, you know, some of their knowledge that they have and some of the experiences that they went through with our players.
You know, Coach, you brought up the fact that the players like Donovan McNabb know what it looks like. There's a generation of football fans here in Syracuse that don't know what it looks like. And how important it is for them to just trust you and to work through this process and come to things like the spring game.
Well, just work. You know, I think that they understand and know that I'm a guy that works. You know, when you look at just who I am and my reputation, you know, where I'm from, my upbringing, my subculture, just all those pieces. I mean, it just all stems back to faith and hard work. So I think they have a lot of faith in the man above, and then they're starting to grow that trust in me, you know, just trusting and doing it and just seeing, like, you know, God, I've competed for a championship. You know, I've had the opportunity to, you know, play in back-to-back conference championships. I've had an opportunity. I mean, in 2 years, I've lost one football game. So, I mean, they've understand that, and they see that, and then they see the difference in just what I'm doing and just who I am as a person. They see that I'm a different guy. Not saying anything about the last guy, just saying who I am. You know what I mean? They see who I am, and they know that I'm genuine and I mean what I say, and I try and say and do what I mean.
You know, you said you were going to come in here and upgrade the talent on this roster. You have more than delivered on that, and I know you want, in turn, the community to support you back. And to Paulie's point about Saturday and the spring game, I know you want people to show up and come and cheer on the team and get their first look at this team. What can they expect? Can you kind of take us through the night from your perspective and what you're expecting fans to see and what you are hoping to get out of this game?
I mean, first off, I think at 2 o'clock, everyone should be coming out to watch our lacrosse team play. I mean, our men's coach Gate is like probably one of the best lacrosse players of all time, but just getting the opportunity to go and watch them at 2 o'clock would be something that you get from us. We'll be there for at least half an hour or a little while to watch that. I think everyone should do that. And then, man, just come out and enjoy the tailgate. There's going to be so many people out here. Like, it's time for Syracuse to just come all together. Like, everybody get together. Everybody be out. Let's everyone enjoy each other. You know what I mean? We're all one big family. So I think if everyone comes out, be at the tailgate, start about 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever. I know at 5:15 we're starting a new tradition where we'll have our own little walk from a different place where we'll be walking. And it'll be an orange walk where all our guys will walk in. And, you know, we'll do that every game. So this will be our first time getting to do it in front of our family, in front of our home, in front of our fans. So I mean, that'd be a good space, a good spot for everyone to be at. And then, just enjoy the game. You're going to see some contact. We're going to play our butts off the first half, you know what I mean? And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really fun.
Coach, it's been a lot of names on Twitter. We're not used to seeing this kind of talent coming in. For this spring game, is there a name or a guy you say, you know what, guys, you should come out and see this guy in the spring game. You're going to be surprised by him.
Yeah, everyone, all of them, they are doing a good job. I think those guys are doing a good job. I'm really excited about Trevor Pena. Just the way he's locked in, man. You just see a kid come. And when you first talk to him, your first conversation with him, because I knew him, kid was committed to me at Temple. Then he decommitted from Temple and ended up coming to Syracuse, which was a great move for him because we got a chance to be together now. And when they're talking to you and you can see I'm lost. Coach, I need help. I need direction. And we sat and we talked for a long time, and we talked about faith, and we talked about what it was to be a man and just doing what you're supposed to do. And, this guy, he is locked in, man. He is locked in, and he's doing it. He's made a lot of plays. I'm really proud of him just to see, how far he's came since I've seen him. And it's only been a short amount of time, but he's done a good job. So he'll be one guy that I'll just say I'm really proud of him, man. He's done a good job, man.
Be great to see him healthy again. He was one of the many players who had their season cut short last year due to injury. Coach, I know that you've said during spring practice that you want this team to get tougher. From top to bottom. What does that look like? How do you go about getting a team tougher?
Just contact. Put them in situations that cause people to be uncomfortable. Creating chaos. I create chaotic situations, and they got to be able to respond. Just being able to respond, being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Being able to make contact. If you may have a double team on you and you're a shade and there's 650 pounds on you, you better stay in your gap. Fight to be in your gap. Stay in your gap. Don't move out your gap. It's important that you stay there. Just figure that out. Just being able to do your job, being able to lift hard after you just had a tough practice yesterday and all these classes, and then coming and being able to do your job. And when I'm saying that toughness, of course, it's on the football field with contact, but it's also when practice is over, you got a class at 11:20. Are you going to be on time for class? Are you going to do those things? Just mental toughness is to be where you are. I'm just looking at all that, and I'm counting all of that. I'm measuring all that. I got a file that I'm keeping track of everything we do. Players, coaches, and myself. No one's exempt from, there's no, entitlement here. So, everyone's trying to push and just get tougher at everything.
I'm glad you brought up mental toughness because that's where I was going next. And false starts, offsides, bad penalties. It's been a problem here, and we've seen it the last several years. How do you go about cutting that out, or certainly cutting down on those things? How do you work on those things in practice, the mental part of it?
Practice, you just got to put them in situations where they understand football, situational football, and then allow them to understand and know how much it kills them, and those are self-inflicted wounds. It's that didn't require talent. So the things that don't require talent, you got to do. You got to be able to do it right. But listen, if guys are late to class, they're going to jump off sides. If you're in class and you're on your phone the whole time, it's a direct correlation from the classroom to the football field. So, you got to be able to do those things. And some places, there may be guys, they are the most talented guys in the world, and they may, I'm not saying that always happens, but that's what I'm praying on, that we can get a bunch of young men to act like men and do everything right. The biggest difference in man is knowing and doing. All men know what to do. They don't just all do it. So I'm just trying to develop a complete man. And then the more men we get, men going to do their job.
Coach, it's kind of a similar question to that. The other thing at Syracuse has been when the twos got in, it was a huge drop-off. How do you have players ready to go if the guy that you're counting on gets hurt?
Reps and practice. We practice like that. Everybody gets reps. Everybody practices. So if you come out and watch a practice one day, you'll say, okay, I'll see how.
All right, Coach, I know your time is limited. Anything else about the spring game that you want to touch on here before we let you go today?
Yeah, Yeah, I want to see everybody there. I expect you to be there. If you're in Syracuse, you should be at the game. It's important that you're there to come out and support because these guys are working their butts off and they expect to see their fans, And, we're back to have some fun and just back to come and play some football. So I would love for everyone to be there. And then afterwards, let's all have a good night. Make sure there's no drinking and driving. Let's stay safe and just keep that going. Another thing I want to say to you, too, right now, man, I've seen that we lost 2 officers, man, and I just want to send my condolences out to their family. Like, that was that's tough, man. Anytime we lose someone like that, especially in the community, I just want to make sure that their family understands and knows that we're here for them and we're praying for them. And if there's anything that we could do, we just, I'm just sorry. I'm just so sorry that, those children got to go through that, losing the father and a wife losing a husband, man. It's sad, especially, out just trying to police and take care of the community. I'm just sorry about that. I wanted to make sure that I say that.
Yeah, well said, Coach. Thank you for finding a few minutes for us today. Again, we're all looking forward to the spring game, 7 o'clock inside the Dome on Saturday. I know you got to get back to work. Thanks for coming on, Coach. We'll see you Saturday inside the Dome.
Y'all be safe.
All right, you as well. Fran Brown joining us here on the program.
He wins every interview.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The guy does everything right.
Yeah, you can see why he recruits so well. Right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, I'm ready to run through a wall for the guy.
Me as well. We'll take a time out here. Phone lines open if you want to check in. 315-437-7644. Back after this on ESPN Radio.